6 years ago, when 2001, right? So 2014, I was picked up for murder.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I spent a month in cells. Then went on. I had 4 years to go to court. Each month until I got out.
I don't know how I forgot about that one. How did you feel
About being
accused of murder?
For me, it didn't come as a surprise.
Why?
People tag me as controversial. So
doesn't make you a murderer.
No.
Doesn't mean you're a murderer.
No, yeah, it doesn't.
Okay.
So when I was picked up, I knew the conversations that had gone on, so I wasn't surprised, and it didn't push me because I knew I had not done anything wrong.
But why, of all the men in this country, why you? Why were you in particular picked up? Have you ever wondered why?
Okay, so I'm not, there was a report made with my name.
Okay.
By a musician.
All right.
That worked with this is my friend. Fennec. So,
you were friends?
Yeah. I actually introduced Fennec into the entertainment space.
Okay.
Yeah, they chop for my house. They come to my house all the time. I used to work at Charterhouse at the time. Before he met some lion man he started working with. I used to give him tags for Charterhouse tickets and everything. He was like my pal. He wanted to get into magazine production and I was helping him. There's somebody who comes to my home to eat. So he was a friend, But along the line, when we move steps ahead, then you part with. It's not like we had any issues or anything. I think,
which is normal.
Yeah. We spoke a month before his death because we were planning to have an association of managers, talent managers in Ghana. So myself and him were going to chair that and bring everybody else on board to make sure, So it was unfortunate, but hey, I think it's a journey I needed to take, and I went through it. So for me, nothing.
Okay, but you've still not answered my question.
What's the question?
Of all the people, why you?
So I'm saying that
somebody mentioned your name,
yes.
but why your name?
So I had
because I've always wondered.
Okay, so let me say this. I think a month or two before his death, there was an event at the stadium.
Okay.
I think YFM did that event, something Loud in Accra or something. So there were two events back to back. One was in Kumasi the night before, then the last one was in Accra. So Shatta was billed to perform at the tail end, when Samini was supposed to perform before us. So when we got to Kumasi, Samini, I would say, extended his performance than the usual time. So we felt that no, he didn't do right, because he had taken a lot of energy from the yes, and spent a lot of time. So we said when we get to Accra, we'll pay him back in his own coin. So I went to speak to the organizers that, hey, there's no way Shatta is performing at the tail end. He'll come before Samini. They said, that's not what my contract said. I said, I don't care what my contract says. If you don't do that, we will not perform.
Right.
So eventually we had our way and we performed. And we performed till, I don't know, like the next morning.
And it was deliberate.
Oh, yes.
You just wanted to pay him.
Exactly, because he did the same to us in Kumasi.
Okay.
But for them, they couldn't take it. So somebody like Tony, that's Samini's former manager, they were trooping on the stage and everything. And at the time, Fennec was there. So we're having, I won't say arguments, but, boys, we they talk.
Yeah.
And I started teasing him that, look, that's the new king of the streets, and Fennec used to manage Kwakese.
Okay.
You understand? So he took an offense, but we were,
and at the time we were calling Kwakese the king of the streets.
Exactly.
Right,
so we're back and forth and all that, and we left the place late. I think 4 a.m. in the morning. I went to bed. I think I woke up around 11. By 12:31, Eugene of Peace FM called my phone and said there's an interview with Akwesi Abuaje and that my name is being mentioned. I said, by whom? He said, so Fennec. So they want to call me, so I respond.
Right.
Okay. So they called me and we had a back and forth on the phone.
Right.
So there was some sort of exchange. And that was the last time I spoke to him. Usually myself and Fennec will plan an argument or an interview before we come. So let's just say you wanted to speak to me. You'll be on the other line, yeah.
Right.
So we know what we'll talk, because it's entertainment. We plan some of these things, So I think after the interview, I called him and said, Charlie, but why you not give me heads? I said, Charlie. The thing was, he was accusing me of bringing land guards onto the stage to protect Shatta. And I mean, I don't. No, I don't get blocks there. I don't buy sand before. So I don't know any land guard. I don't get land. So I told him that, listen, maybe you know them because you have them or you do these things. But I don't know. All the guys that came are guys from Nima that we know.
Right. And
they come with us come along anytime we are going for shows. So I don't know what you're talking about. We went back and forth. He used some sort of denigrating words on me on air, but hey, we be boys, so that can't be. So just after that, I spoke to him and said, Charlie, but why you not give me heads up? Say with a base for there's this guy Step. I don't know if you know Solid Multimedia. So I said, when we meet for that, we go to trash her. That's all. And I didn't hear of him again. Then we spoke again later on about that managerial thing we wanted to do. That's it. So I don't know whether I don't know who took whatever. I don't know. Right. But hey.
But it shocked you, didn't it? I mean, to be in the cooler for a month.
Yes, it wasn't easy. I got fair in the process. You don't get to see the sun. You don't get to see the moon. You're always there. I got a little bit. I think I got out twice, and on all those 2 occasions, I was in court. Because I was picked up on a Thursday. I ran in front of a judge on Monday. Then they said no, they won't give me bail. And at the time, murder was a crime that will not get bail. So they had to go to the human rights court to get it. Now, murder, you can get bail if everything is right. Within the next 2 days, you get it and go out. But it was cool. It was an
eye-opener?
No.
A lesson? What was it?
No, I think it was, for me, I was being pulled away from something. So
think?
Yeah, I know. I would say I think I know because my mom at the time, may God put her soul to rest. She's still resting at Osu someplace. She told me that she'd seen an accident for myself. She's a prayerful mom, myself and Shatta, and that when we're driving, we should be careful.
Right.
A young girl I used to work with at Raku's production at the time also said a friend of hers called and said, Senadamfoni a BullDog ANKG so benya accident, or she dreamt I had an accident and I got amputated from the leg. Right. So sometimes I don't trust some of these things. Sometimes it's because of my nature. It's not like I don't believe in anything, but I don't want to subscribe to that, so it weighs me down. Now when I got in there, 3 pastors came on 3 separate days and said the same thing my mom said, and said the same thing my friend's friend said, that I'm being kept here to let the storm pass, and that if I was out there I would have, and these are people I didn't know. They came on random days. Yes. And I was confident the whole time because hey, Charlie, look, even if you came to my home, the weapon, if you want to call it a weapon, kitchen knife belongs to my wife. I mean, I don't own nothing. I don't owe anybody anything. I don't own a gun. I mean, I won't need it at any point in my life. I hope so. So I knew so nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, so you mentioned earlier that you introduced Fennec, may his soul rest in perfect peace, to this game.
Yeah.
And then this happened to him.
Yeah.
How do you feel that till date?
Very sad.
Yeah, we have
very sad.
Closure to that.
Yes, very, very sad. And I was at the funeral at the time. Myself, when they happened, the night it happened.
You were at the funeral.
Well, yeah,
what was the reaction?
Oh, I mean, at the time I wasn't picked up yet.
You hadn't been picked up.
I hadn't been
picked up later.
Later, yes, after the funeral.
Okay.
And people were saying, "Oh, then the time I kill him, we are around. There are no day town." All of a sudden, I stopped doing public interviews, and my PS started putting the pictures up. This guy was at the funeral. You understand? So listen, the night I think the night before he passed, I received a broadcast message from him. He had sent some Colombian mafia stuff on WhatsApp. And I just looked at it. I didn't respond and slept over. The next morning, I was driving out and I saw another broadcast from George Britain.
Okay.
And the headline hit me. So I called Britain and said, "Yo, Charlie, sometimes make we use one our brains more." He's like, "Oh, why you didn't insult me?" I said, "Look at the headline," because the headline read, okay, I've forgotten the exact thing, but if there was a story with Obo and his face. You know, and they said, I think a week after argument with Obo Musica, Fennec has been killed. So so I said, yeah,
trying to draw a link.
Good.
Yeah.
You know, because even Obo was, I don't know, I won't say picked up, but he was invited. You know, he was released before later on call me. They come pick me up. You understand what I'm saying? And it was sad. And at the time I was picked up, I was with Shatter at Joy FM. We're doing an interview. You know, usually when you're with Shatter, you know there's a crowd.
Yeah.
So we had finished an interview at their TV section. We came out. They wanted to do something outside. So I was by him. He was speaking. A gentleman stepped to me and said, "Charlie, I will see you." And I'm like, "Yo, I'm working." Usually when they come like that, they want a photograph.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I say, "Hey, relax, are they?" You know, the another one, "Oh, Charlie." I said, "No, boss, are they work?" And when I'm working, Charlie, is different.
Yeah.
Then the next one came and said, "We are from police." So that got me a little bit. I'm like, okay, I beg, I will come right now. You know, so I finished that. Then they said, "Oh, you are needed at the CID headquarters." I said, "For what?" Said, "Oh, to assist investigation." I said, "Which investigation?" So Fennec. I said, "Oh, okay, cool, let's go." So I drove them in my car because I knew
they didn't come in a car.
No, Charlie, Ghana police, don't make we talk this matter for you. Which car?
You drove the police.
Yeah.
The police that came to invite you.
Yes.
To assist in investigation.
Yes, the CID
drove in your car.
My car, yeah. There's three of them.
How?
Yeah, they don't get car. Like they bring some taxi or they jog from the CID place. Come down.
No, they have cars.
Charlie, which cars?
Oh no, the police. The police service
you see, sometimes I like to be maybe I like to be realistic. Yes, yeah. There's an organization, there's a structure, you know. But sometimes some things too no there.
So you drove them in your car.
Yes.
To the CID.
Yeah.
And what kind of conversation were you having in the car?
Good. I like that. So when we were coming, I'm like, "Am I under arrest?" Say no. Would I need a lawyer? They say no. So what? When you say assist me, I know be policeman or CID. What are they go? So some question and answer. So I said, okay, cool, because I knew Obo had gone there and left and everything. Now, I won't say maybe on hindsight I'll say it was a mistake, but I didn't call anybody because I knew I had not done nothing.
Nothing, right?
So we got there I think around 11 in the morning, and they took me up on the 4th floor. That's homicide when you go there, yeah. And they put me in a conference room or something. Said I should wait. Okay, I'll say the charge office.
Did you have your phone?
At the time.
Yeah.
So I think within 30 or 40 minutes, yes, they had come for my phone. Or I think we went in for an interview, but I knew I had my phone at the time. Then they said I needed to wait a little bit. So I waited from 11 to like 5. Yes. So yes, so around 2 or 3, I called my PA. It's called Salty, and I said that I'm at the police station. He shouldn't tell anybody, and that I'll be late in picking up my daughter, my first daughter, and that he should come to the police station and get the car and go and pick my daughter. So he came, and but I think just before he came, I got a call from Socrates, and Socrates said, "Oh, I can't move here."
How did the news go on?
Exactly, the PRO of the police at the time, I don't know who she is or she was or who he was, had started doing interviews that they have the murderer in custody, then blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you.
Did he say murderer or did she say murderer?
That's what it was reported, and I was all over the place at the time, but I didn't know because I was in there, and I wasn't locked up, but, I was in their confines. So my guy left and came back later on, and I said, "Oh, wait for me. But all my friends had heard it, you know, so stayed a few people, you know. Then we went for an interview, or interrogation, I'll say. I was there, I think there were 5 or 6 top gurus from the, you know. Then they started talking. This, that. Okay, let me say. They say, "Are you BullDog?" I said, "Yes." "Do you live at?" They said some place, but I said, "No. You either find me in Adabraka or Domi, you know. But where you mentioned there, no be that day. You've had troubles with Fennec," and I said, we have troubles in this industry all the time. There was a time, you know, we had another issue with Wow. I don't know if it's Joy FM. Joy FM did a show called Accra vs. Tema. You know, and on that night, there was a scuffle. I think Kwakesi came on stage with a VIP flag. You know, Commotion, I don't know if you know him, Commotion Promotion is an MC.
Emotion for the nation.
Yes, he introduced Kwakesi at the time. And Kwakesi came on stage and stepped on a VIP flag. You know, I was managing VIP at the time.
Right.
You know, so giddy start they happened for there, you know, and that day just after our performance, the show stopped because there were people who were supposed to come after us, but the show stopped because my guys didn't take it lightly. And when I say my guys, not all of the guys, but Promsy and a few other guys, you know, we're always with a group, you know. When we step out, we were like about like a clan, you know what I'm saying? So some of us had to stand in, you know, to make sure to return calm to the place and everything. So, you know, all those small things.
They were now beginning to play out.
Good. So they started referring me to that, and they said we had a press statement. We all wrote some press. I said they should go and read Fennec's and read mine. They will realize the English word, and then they realized that we were not pushing for trouble. They said that night, Promsy and a few guys attacked Commotion. But I wasn't there, you know, so I don't know why all these things, you know. Then again, they started mentioning Shatawale's name at the time. You know, I think I've been fortunate or unfortunate because the people I surround myself with, you know, it's on fire day. They be firebrands, you know, so, and you managing a firebrand, you will have some fire, you know,
Absolutely.
So most of these things, though, put it at your doorstep. You know, I listened, and they eventually just said, "Oh, you killer."
They told you that?
Yes, I've forgotten the man's name. If I remember right now, I go mention him. I look at him, I'm like, "Yo, you don't even get sense." And I said that in my head.
Oh
no, in my head.
Wouldn't dare.
Oh yeah, in my head,
words. Yeah.
You know, his 2IC, Mr. Hansen. You know, he was he's still there. I think now they are all my friends.
Right.
You know, he was there. A few of them spoke. Then they took me and said I needed to give a statement, you know. So I think around 6 now, I went to the CID who was in charge. The investigator who was in charge. I went to his office to write my statement. It's called, what's this guy's name? He's actually the one prosecuting me in court right now. Very cool guy.
Right.
Now, when I was writing my statement, you know, they had a fan there. And you know, there are a bunch of papers and everything. So it was taking me through the whole thing,
right.
You know, So then I saw a name that reported my case, who was like the complainant.
And it was a musician.
Yes.
Who?
Something Boche. But that was Kwakesi, you know, let me just say it. That's his name, something Boche, you know. So I finished my statement and they said they have to lock me up. You know, and I said, in the morning you can't pick me. I don't even chop safe. You know, I ask you all this things. You say, you know, catch me. You can't delay my time for here. They won't put me for sales for what. And then at this time, my wife was there, you know, family members and all that, you know. And I said, you know, they make sense. If like this thing you tell me, I go bring lawyer. You know, so I called a lawyer friend of mine. Actually, he's my lawyer, you know, at the time. When I started this journey of music, he was the one who drafted my first contract with 5-5. I called him solo. He came to the scene and said he couldn't represent me and that he's now with the police, so he can't do that. Right. So he will recommend somebody. So I said, okay. But I didn't hear of him again. I went through the process, and they brought a car they said they were going to lock me. They were taking me to Nsawam that night. You know, but Simon, that's my prosecutor's name, the CID at the time, said it was late because it was around 8:39. He couldn't go that far, and that he would find a place to put me. You know, then later on. So at that time, now the thing now, say Charlie, and he was all over the place.
How are you feeling?
Hey, I don't know.
Would you say that was the lowest moment of your life?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, but how were you feeling at the time? Can you find the words to describe it?
I don't know. I mean, the thought that came into my head was my daughter.
Right.
You know, so the fact that I'm not.
How old was she at the time?
She was 2 or 3. Sekai is what? Sekai is 13 now. You know, and it was in 2014. I've forgotten. So, so that thought, you know.
You couldn't bring yourself to.
Yes. You know, so they put me in handcuffs. Then they drove me to the nearest police station. That's Cantonment Police Station.
Right.
When we got there, the commander at the station said the cells were full and that he can't admit me. Then the guy started pleading that, oh, Charlie, late, you know, if we drive, go, you know, he beg. Tomorrow morning he'll change my place. You know, and the guy allowed, and they put me in, you know. So
you were there with how many people?
A lot.
How did they receive you?
I
mean, we've seen what happens in the cells and prisons in movies, but...
Yes. Okay, so my cell leader coincidentally called me like, what, last week. Okay. He's called Soldier. He's a military guy, you know, so he had some issues with the military, and they transferred him to military police, then later on. So when I got in, he's like, yo, Charlie, as you come there, you for pay. You know,
you have to pay.
Yes.
To be there.
Yes. You know, they clean the place. I didn't understand. I mean, for me, it wasn't my first time in cells.
Oh.
Oh, no. Oh, no, Nana, but me, I'll be a Daraka boy. I go, if you want.
You have a reputation.
Exactly. People, they speak English, people, they talk. You know, we they do the same, but when our hands to, they talk. So sometimes when the mouth they fail, the hands.
Then you throw your.
Oh yeah, so I have a lot of assault cases. So I know the system.
You have a lot of assault cases. You go about assaulting people.
Oh, no, be me. Be them go about the assault me.
And then
I mean verbally assault me.
And then you hit them.
Oh yes, with my.
Why do you have to hit them back? Why can't you just walk away?
I don't know, Charlie. They, you know.
Do you have anger management issues?
No, I don't.
You don't?
No.
So why don't you just walk away?
You know, I mean, sometimes, you know, when you're on the street, it's different. Okay. I keep saying that all the time. I mean, we're underneath some cooler here, right? And, you know, we all the act, y'all. But when the matter come, let me ask you a question. So if you're driving now, you know, you left here and then somebody hits your car, run into your car.
It has happened to me a number of times.
Yeah, you won't be angry.
No.
You won't be angry.
I don't even get out of the car.
But you park?
No.
You go?
I just drive away.
Wow. I bet scratch a BG.
No, it's not about that. I just don't know what that conversation will yield.
Oh, okay. No, but that's your ass or car.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's why we pay for insurance.
True. Okay, we want insurance.
Okay, in English. My guy is not that good.
Okay, sometimes we don't think about the insurance.
Okay, but you would rather get out of the car.
I mean, it's this reflex. Ask anybody.
Oh.
You see, we all grew up differently.
I agree.
So my reflex will tell me. Oh,
so your reflex tells you to.
Oh no, no. You see, before I throw a hand, you will call for the hand. But then you again both way. Because I don't go about. I'm not like
You don't go about
no
hitting people.
No.
They call for it.
Yes.
But you can also walk away.
Yeah, but maybe you didn't have to be boxer. We are no be boxer.
Maybe.
So maybe, you know. So
you would have done perfect in the
exactly.
ring.
So back to the story. When I got in, the soldier said, "Hey, you need to pay," and I'm like, "Oh, don't worry. They just take my things, or you know." And at the time, I was stripping before I was going inside. You know, usually I don't wear boxers. You know, I'm not the boxer. As I sit here, I know they wear some stuff. You know, recently when I was at the BNI,
you don't wear boxers.
No. For what?
So what do you wear?
I just wear my jeans and I'm on, or my if it is a political suit trouser.
You walk around just like that. You don't wear boxers.
For what? You mean What?
I
I want to be free, you know.
I mean,
Recently, when I was at the BNI, they had to go and buy boxer shorts for me.
But so you didn't learn any lesson from
which
your
lesson? No. If I know the way, I know the way. Look, did I prepare to look? You know when I was coming here. You don't prepare
to be picked up.
When I was coming here, you know, Nana Aba Anamoah is just here. Yeah. I wanted to use the barrier. Now the police people there, they will be my friends. They will know me.
Yeah.
They won't say they won't let me pass. But when I get there, I will like, oh, Charlie, no more Asian. Go bring another matter. You go see by Nima police station. You'll be sitting here, and I'm so they have to buy boxes for me.
So they bought you boxes.
Oh yes. I can't mention the man's name.
No, leave his name out.
Yes, the guy who admitted me. Yo, perfect gentleman.
Yeah.
Yeah, they treated.
He bought you a box.
Oh yeah, they buy fufu self ad that day. Chop the fufu. That's BNI matter.
This is later.
Yeah, no, later. I mean, I'm speaking
the
recent one. You know, got me my fufu from Heavy Do. You know, and some fish. Then I did there the wedge. Then they call from Jubilee House, lock the guy. I mean, you know, boss, no go back no back him.
So you just went to bed.
Oh, Charlie.
Were you remorseful? Are you remorseful for the words you uttered on that show?
I mean, what was the meaning of that word?
No, wait. Let me just rest that for a bit.
Okay.
I just to wrap up on the Fennec conversation, and not to make anybody sad this evening. For those very close to Fennec and his family, I mean, we are still with you. Condolences to you for your loss, but. Just to wrap up on that, so you were in the cooler for a month.
For a month, yeah.
And then you finally came out. The case has been dropped against you?
Yeah, it's been dropped.
Okay.
You know, because they had no evidence. Now, at a point, they were not coming to court. The prosecution wasn't coming to court. They had nothing against me. And I want to say a big thank you to my lawyers at the time. I'm still working with one. Gary Nemako of the MPP.
Oh, Gary. Gary's a top
No, it's
lawyer.
A fantastic guy.
He's a top lawyer.
You should meet Jerry Agbanafo. You like him too.
Okay, I haven't.
Yeah, he was the one. Yeah, who made that.